Hey, this is Stavros, and you just heard.
Welcome into another episode of You Heard, where we chat with athletes, celebrities, and influencers about their NFL fandom. Today, we've got stand up comedian and huge Ravens fan Stavros joining us. Stavros, thanks so much for taking the time to get ready for Sunday Night Football with us.
Of
When did you
course.
start cheering for the Ravens?
I mean, since the team existed, I've been, I remember being a little kid and having the Ravens, come to town. Orioles fan, obviously, that was the first team I rooted for. My family's Greek, so I was a big soccer fan, Greek soccer. Olympiacos was our team. But being in America, my parents didn't really like football that much, but from the time I was a little kid, I was really into just, football. It seemed so fun. And so I was like an NFL fan when I was little, and then the Ravens came to town and it was incredible. We had our own team. I was like in, I don't know, maybe third grade. I went to like the original punt, pass, and kick the Ravens ever hosted. Matt Stover, Vinny Testaverde throwing a Vinny. I mean, this is back in the day. So I was pumped. I remember them naming the team. I remember it being like, should they be the Baltimore American? That was like a real question. Again, so thank God we chose Ravens. It's a sick name. But yes, I go as far back. I was in sixth grade when we won the Super Bowl. It was the one of the happiest moments of my childhood. And then I was in college when we won the second Super Bowl. So I've been a very nice age to be a fan. Little kid, drunk, drunk idiot, winning the Super Bowl. And now hopefully as an adult, we're going to get one pretty soon. Hopefully this year. Sorry to your Bills, but hopefully we get it
Yeah.
this year.
But I don't know how Bills fans feel about that. Ravens fans are probably
Yeah,
like, yeah, let's do it. But Bills fans, on the other hand, are like, hey, we've got another obstacle in our way on
it's
Sunday night.
true.
It's the Ravens. Your Ravens are off to a 1-2 start this season. They kept it close against the
I know.
Cowboys. I couldn't imagine this Ravens team going 0-3 with the type of players that are on this roster. Are you in on this team so far?
Yes, of course. I mean, look, nobody likes starting 0-2. You don't like almost losing to the Cowboys when we had such a big lead. We have clearly had a fourth quarter problem. I mean, even it's like schizophrenic to watch this team because we're so good and Lamar is so good. Truly, like, I love him. I think he's the best. Um, he really re-energized when we drafted him. It really like re-energized my fandom, and and this team has been so good. We have dominating wins, and then every so often, it's crazy statistically how many fourth quarters we've dropped when it's like we have so much talent. We've had incredible players on both sides of the ball. And it's really frustrating that these fourth quarters keep being a problem. I mean, it's cliche to say, hey, if we just figure out the fourth quarter, we'd be unstoppable. But, it's true. I was, I was even, I was at the playoff game that we lost to the Chiefs last year. I was in the building, and even a couple things go different there. Zay Flowers catches a ball, we might win a Super Bowl, right? You know what I mean? Or he doesn't fumble that ball. And it's just very frustrating to watch these like, everybody has that with their team where they're like, why can't we just get this one aspect right? I mean, you guys had a tough start last year and it was like very up and down, but I love the team. I love Lamar, he's my guy. It was great watching Derrick Henry get an insane doing what he does best yesterday. We hadn't really seen that. And so I have faith. I love this team. We have a lot of talent, and you know how it is in the NFL. You have to be there. And it's a long season. Every game counts, but still, it really feels like you just got to be healthy and in the mix at the end of the year. And I think we can do that. So I'm still on. Too early to be worried, in my opinion.
Too early to be worried. 1-2, you're back in it. 0-3, it's a completely different story. But knowing
Completely different.
knowing that they have Lamar Jackson and a stable full of weapons, I think they're capable of a lot. Since you go all the way back with your Ravens fandom, you were naming and calling out some OG Ravens players. Do you have
Yeah.
a Mount Rushmore for Ravens players?
Ooh, very interesting. I mean, right off the bat, for me, Ed Reed is my favorite Raven of all time. I mean, he was so incredible to watch. We were spoiled. Just, I mean, you know how good he is when Bill Belichick, who never praises anyone, if you hear him talk about Ed Reed, it's like hearing like, a little kid talk. It's like hearing like a middle school girl talk about Harry Styles or something. Maybe I'm aging myself. I don't know. I don't know who the
No, that's good.
new
That's good.
person young people are into, right? But like he was the best. He would take away the whole side of the field and he would return kicks. I mean, he was such an electric player. Obviously, Ray Lewis and Jonathan Ogden getting drafted in the same year when we were a really young franchise is insane. I think you got to put both of those guys in there. And then I think Lamar will end up there, but right now it's got to be Flacco, baby. We got to get Joe Flacco on there. That run, I love Joe so much. He was so cool. He just did his job. He just showed up, and the fact that he played his best football ever and it got us a Super Bowl, that deserves something. Just showing up, playing your best when it matters, you whether it's luck, whether it's determination, whether it's like I just love the guy. He got us a Super Bowl. I gotta give him that fourth spot for the time being, although I have a sneaking suspicion Lamar is gonna get there.
You would think that Lamar would inch his way closer every year. I mean, he's been an MVP before. What's next for this guy? But I love that you picked Joe Flacco because if you didn't, I was going to shout him out because you have a famous Joe Flacco moment. Do you want to take us through how how that moment got so viral?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. I'm still kind of shocked that the Baltimore Ravens just allow me to do. As being a fan, being from Baltimore, I started doing really dumb character, like you guys have like really super Western New York guys that are just like have your accent and jumping through tables and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We definitely have our version of that, and I kind of was making fun of our towny character, um, doing that with the heavy, Baltimore accent. Oh my God, that kind of thing. And this guy loves Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, that O. And I just started doing those videos, and it caught on with Ravens fans, caught on with my friends. Pardon my take; those guys put it out there, and I think that they have such a huge NFL fan base that like people started seeing that character, and somehow it got back to Joe, and it was like the greatest moment of my life where he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he shouted me out. Justin Tucker, like the other another contender for GOAT, on that Mount Rushmore, he's definitely on the fringe there. But yeah, insane. I don't understand it. It's crazy that the man himself was seeing my videos. I can't believe it. That like his teammates on the Browns were showing him videos. It's insane.
So, since you've rubbed elbows with guys like Joe Flacco and other athletes
That's
in
right.
this industry, being a part of Barstool Sports and getting to hang out with those guys, have you had a moment where you felt starstruck as a fan of the NFL and a fan of sports?
I mean, yeah. I mean, constantly last year, like the fact that the Ravens just let me like on the field. They were like, they're letting me like be on the jumbotron. It's insane. Meeting Ed Reed, I met Ed Reed, who again my favorite Raven ever. Ed Reed, Jonathan Ogden, that playoff game. It's like a very bittersweet memory for me because I was there and I met all like my heroes when I was a kid, and then we lose. But yeah, super starstruck meeting those guys. It's insane. They were so good, and you know, I think we got to go. I bumped into Justin Tucker just in an elevator, going. It was just me and him, and it was like, oh my God, Justin, and he knew the videos, which blew my mind. Where it was like I was so pumped to see him, and then he was like, whoa, that was crazy that he even that he even knew who I was. So it's all very confusing. I don't understand it. I don't know why they've allowed me on their platform, but hey, I'll take it.
Heck yeah, take it and keep running with it. Well, we're talking to
That's
you.
right.
One of the reasons we're talking to you is because the Ravens are facing the Bills on Sunday Night Football. The Bills are going to head to Baltimore for the game. It's their first of three straight away games this season. First of the pack of three away games. We've already had one this season, but the Bills have been pretty good against the Ravens in the recent past. They've been good at defending Lamar Jackson. That's something that they've always been able to do in the last few matchups against this team. If you think about the matchup, what are some of your first thoughts about this game?
Well, look. We got to get this game. I feel, you're very nice. I feel bad for, I really like Buffalo. Great. Look, the wing, you came up with the wing. I've had thousands of your city's creation over 10, maybe tens of thousands in my lifetime. My buddy Joe Pera, huge Buffalo Bills fan. We've had me and him go back and forth on it all the time. And I don't want to say it because it's like obviously I root for Baltimore first and foremost, but whenever we're out of the playoffs, I root for the Bills. You deserve it. A lot of heartbreak in that city, all that kind of stuff. Great town. I like a city that industry has abandoned. That's the same thing as Baltimore. We're just doing our best, right? So I like Buffalo, but we got to get right here. We need it. You guys will be cruising. Maybe you might, we're talking before the Jags game, but like if you're coming in 3-0, that's a trap game for you. You're not, yeah, you're not. And look, who knows? You might lose. Trevor Lawrence might have some up his sleeve for you. I don't think so. But if you're coming in 3-0, we desperately need that. And also, yeah, you've defended us good. But I think this is a year for you guys where a lot's on, and Josh Allen rules. Again, I hate to give you these many compliments when we're facing you. It
Keep them
really
coming.
is
Keep them
breaking my
coming.
heart. But I love him. He's cool. He's really cool. He's good. He's awesome at football, obviously. But I just feel like a little bit. You guys are going to face a little reality. You had to let go of a lot of players. This feels like a year where you had to like get your cap right. A lot of like the defense is gone. Some of like they're either gone or aging. I think with this running game, we are going to run the ball, and I think hopefully each week our defense hopefully gets a little better. We have a new coordinator. Of course, I'm scared. I respect Josh. I won't say I fear him. I respect him, but at the end of the day, we just need it more. I think you're going to see a statement game from the Ravens because you're good. How about this little backhanded compliment? Because you're so good, it's going to mean a lot more to us. And you can you can you can deal with one loss if you're 3-0. It's fine. Let's balance it out.
I don't know if Bills Mafia is going to be okay with dealing with one loss. We'll see how this Sunday
I'm
night
sorry.
game
Yeah, yeah,
goes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you were talking about being a fan of wings and just, the vibes in Buffalo, similar to
Of course,
Baltimore and the
good
makeup of a
vibes.
city. I feel like you'd fit in with Bills Mafia pretty well.
I really would. I love Buffalo because it's a place where the fat man is respected. You know what I mean? It's a place where the plus size community is thriving in Buffalo. I if I lived in
Take
Buffalo, no
10,
problem
take 10
finding
extra
shirts.
wings.
Take an extra wing. I like any place where every man's chair has like a groove where they have just watched Bills football for over 10 years. Like they sink into their couch or chair. I really love Buffalo, truly. Like that's the, kind of the frustrating thing when we go head to head because I do want a city like that to succeed. A fat city with nothing but treats everywhere, with a team that's good, that hasn't won yet. You do deserve a victory. I think I'd like to get one more before I start rooting for you guys, with my whole heart, but I would love it. There's maybe a scenario where I retire in Buffalo.
Hmm.
you
I
know,
mean, you've already had two. We haven't had one yet, so
True.
I think
You're
you could
right.
share
I'm
the
being
love a
greedy.
little bit. You're being a
I'm
little bit.
being greedy. Yeah.
Stavros, you're
As long as
known
somebody beats the Chiefs, that's important.
seriously.
As long as we beat the Chiefs,
Salute
it
to
does feel
that.
like we have it feels a little bit like we're like, there's an older brother and we're like, our teams are like the younger twins that are
Yeah,
taking turn. We can't really knock them off. And believe me, I'd rather 100 times you guys win than the Chiefs, not even close.
yeah. The Ravens fans and the Bills fans and even Bengals a little bit. You
Well,
got some.
let's not get carried away here, Maddie.
They
Let's
have
let's keep the
the
Bengals out of
Chiefs.
this. I'm offering you an olive
Yeah,
branch.
no,
Don't
let's
bring the Bengals into this.
not. Okay, we're keeping
If
them
how
out
about
of it.
this? Can we propose something? Look, if the Chiefs win again, they should allow us to combine teams, and we should be able to form a unified Bills Ravens to defeat the Chiefs, and they should just play the AFC Championship, us versus the Chiefs. I think that's only fair. That would be very interesting for the league. Let's start a petition,
Josh
but
Allen
they're not going to get it.
Josh Allen
Yeah,
and Lamar Jackson on the same team together.
come on,
I wouldn't complain about that. But yeah,
running the
the
option,
Chiefs
running
can
the option. Those two.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Chiefs
Anyway,
cannot win
sorry.
another one. I mean,
No, no.
we could talk forever about, our,
Hmm.
our shared trauma in that category.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna stop talking about them. This is gonna get clipped. People are gonna be like, "Look, we're in their heads."
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean? So take it out.
moving on.
Don't
We're
even give them the
moving on. We're
satisfaction.
not even
Moving
thinking
on.
about it. We're
I don't
not even
care at
thinking
all.
about it.
We're gonna beat
Who
the Chiefs.
cares?
We're gonna beat you guys. We're gonna beat the Chiefs. I'm supremely confident. How about that?
And I'll say we're going to beat the Ravens. We're going to beat the Chiefs. I'm
That's
also
right.
supremely
Yeah.
confident. Stavros, you're known for
Perfect.
your crowd work. You're incredible in a room with people, picking people out, asking them questions, and then riffing off of that. You spoke about, hey, maybe I'll retire in Buffalo. Maybe I'll be a Bills Mafia fan as I finish out my NFL fandom. Have you ever done a show in Buffalo? I feel like you would be
Oh
awesome
yeah.
at crowd work in Buffalo.
Had some great time. Yeah, great shows in Buffalo. I did I was in Buffalo Helium a few years ago. Did plenty of crowd work. Met some people that were thrown not allowed into Canada. They were so rowdy in Buffalo. Talked to a tire mechanic in Buffalo. So yeah, got a couple clips out there with me interacting with some of Buffalo's finest. So absolutely, I love it. I love it. It's a great comedy town. I might be there. I might actually try and get there this fall, this winter at some point because I'm doing a big tour next year. So I'm trying to do some warm up shows. So who knows?
That would
But
be
yeah, I love it.
awesome. When did you realize that comedy was for you?
I just always liked it, and I was 19. I started doing open mics, and then you just look up one day, and you're a 35-year-old man with no other way to make a living. So it's just like it was one of those things where I was kind of stuck, but I love it, and it's just I couldn't have a real job, and I got insanely lucky that this worked out. I didn't plan ahead. I'm not a big planner. Every year was like, this feels fine, and then we just ended up here. So I'll take it.
Everybody has a moment in their careers where they're like, okay, I feel like this is a defining moment for my career. I mean, you're on Netflix, you host a bunch of podcasts, you've appeared in several comedies, you've done several things with Barstool as well. Was there a moment in the lead up to all of that where you felt like you really started to get a lot of attention?
Yeah, I mean, I again super surprised that it happened, but I just kind of started posting clips. Um, and it's a really weird thing to feel like you made it just by putting stuff on the internet for free, but that's what happened. I just one day people were like, "Hey, I liked your video," and that happened. I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then it just kept happening. And then from there on, I mean, getting a Netflix special, getting to be, I was in Tires, which is my buddy Shane Gillis's show, Shane Gillis and John McKeever, and that was in the top 10 of Netflix for like 2 weeks. So just really surreal stuff. And I wrote last year. Last year was just a crazy year for me, where a lot of this stuff happened that I still am super lucky to have happened. And I wrote and starred in a movie that's coming out October 25th. Let's Start a Cult. So it's been crazy. Last year was insane, and um, I'm just kind of riding off, coasting off those accomplishments. Maybe for the rest of my life. Maybe that was it, to be honest with you. But hey, we had a good run.
I don't think so. I think there's much more to
Yeah.
come in your career because you are funny. Where do the jokes come from when you're not doing crowd work? Where does that prep come from? Where do the ideas come from?
Just pretty everyday stuff. Your biggest the biggest like embarrassments in your life tend to make really good jokes, whether that's family, dating, relationships, all that kind of stuff. Just a lot of humiliations. And it's sort of like, let's spin that into something. That's pretty much it. Just embarrassing myself in my normal life leads to couple jokes here and there.
Well, speaking of embarrassing yourself, what about embarrassing other people? Is there an NFL player that you would want to roast?
Oh man. I would like to again. I hate to bring it back to the Chiefs, but I would like it to be probably. I don't know if it's the Travis Kelsey, because he wants the attention too much. That would be too. He would love it, but I would like to do that, and I would think it would be the kind of thing where it would start fun, and then it would get so mean spirited because my feelings have been broken so much that I'd be like escorted out. I would I would have death threats from Swifties after the roast of Travis Kelsey, but it would feel good to get it off.
It would be your own version of therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. What's next for you? What's on the docket? What do you have coming up?
I have this movie coming out on October 25th. Let's Start a Cult. It's actually coming out in theaters. It's kind of in like indie comedy stuff. And so I'm kind of really excited about that. Hopefully people really like that. I just want people to watch. I think it's been a while since we've made really dumb fun comedies. Like you don't see those a lot. I grew up in that, the super bad era, and even before that, Adam Sandler. I'm a huge fan
Yeah.
of that type of stuff, where it's like a quick 90-minute comedy with a lot of dumb jokes, and that's kind of what I'm trying to bring back here. And yeah, just doing that. I'm gonna have a tour in um, starting in February after the Super Bowl. Knock on wood, we'll be there, and I'll be celebrating a Super Bowl and going right into my big 2025 tour. And yeah, that's it. New season of tires coming out. We're working on that. So yeah, just out here working.
Maybe you'll go into that tour instead of the Ravens winning a Super Bowl. You'll be like, "Well, the Bills beat us on their way to get to a Super Bowl."
I can't. No, I can't wish it yet. It's got to happen first, Maddie. Don't. I can't give it to you yet. If we're eliminated, then come see me. But not yet.
Well, one of our offensive linemen, our right tackle, Spencer Brown, is a big fan. He has a question for you.
What up, Stavy? Spencer Brown here with the Buffalo Bills. Fan of yours. Question for you. If you could build your life 10 years, 20 years from now, what does your ideal life look like? Whether it's comedy or raising goats or something random. Curious to know, though.
That's very nice. I like that because we think of NFL. You think of linemen as like big brutes, but that's a fun little philosophical question there. I think he's closer to raising goats than he is comedy. Because my dream, I would like to just retire in Greece, have a little house on an island, you know what I mean, right on the beach, pop in, come out, fresh calamari, catch a Ravens game. I guess we would be the time difference is 7 hours, so I'm watching it. We're 7 hours ahead. I'm getting that at night. I'm watching, 9, 10 p.m. I'm settling down, watching Lamar win his second Super. I guess at that point, 10 years in the future, watching Lamar win his 10th Super Bowl, hopefully, and 10th Super Bowl MVP. And I'm just chilling out. I'd like to work really hard for those 10 years that Spencer asked about. And then after that, I'm done. I'm just doing backstrokes in the Aegean Sea.
That sounds like a dream. Greece is incredible.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
hasn't been there yet, they need to get out there because you talked about it. The islands, pristine, so
So
beautiful.
good.
To
Yeah.
finish us off, we always ask our guests what their hottest take is of the team that they cheer for. So, do you have a hot Ravens take for us?
My hot take is maybe it's not hot, but it's like we're good. We're fine. It's a couple. All we got to do is hope no one gets injured. We got a running back that defies logic. We couldn't run the ball last year when it mattered. Now we have an unstoppable running game when it gets going. We're gonna figure it out. No panicking, Baltimore. We got this. We're good. No issues yet. That's my hot take. And maybe I'm even trying to convince myself. Maybe I'm even trying to convince myself right now, but that's what it is. We did it. We won. We'll be fine. It starts, unfortunately for Buffalo, it starts with a nice get right game against you. And then we're cruising, baby. We're doing good.
There's no get right game against Buffalo. Come on. The Bills are too
Sorry.
good to say it's a get right.
Sorry.
Put
We
some
needed it.
respect on their name. Stavros, thank you so much for previewing this huge Sunday Night Football
Of
matchup
course.
against the Baltimore Ravens. You guys have a lot of talent there, and every year I know our fans and this team looks forward to going up against you guys when we do get to face you because of the fact that it's a good matchup. It's good on good, which is what
It
helps teams
is.
better. So
Yes. Iron sharpens iron, baby.
there you go. We'll see how it goes, but
Yeah.
thanks for the time, and we'll make sure we
Of
catch
course.
this new movie coming up too.
Yeah, please do. Awesome.
Awesome.